what I wanted to talk about today was my acne story and where it started and what I'm doing now, and a bit of my skincare routine, but I guess I can go into detail with that on another video. I'll start in the beginning, I guess. So I first started breaking out when I was 14, and I have this vivid memory of being at summer camp, and like I was this awkward kid with glasses and braces and like just like acne everywhere, and I started liking boys, but I was just really self-conscious and really shy, and my best friend was getting all this attention and having all these boys like her, and she had perfect skin, and I mean to this day she still does. I just have this memory of just like feeling so self-conscious about myself, and I remember that I started using prescription medications. So I was using Clindoxil, which is benzoyl peroxide, at night, and I was using Spectro Gel to wash my face. That's a very simple cleanser, and then in the mornings I was using Differin. And it's hard for me to remember. I think I block things out of my mind. I just have a terrible memory with certain things, so I just remember bits and pieces. But eventually my skin became a lot better, like in 9th grade, and then I just remember feeling better, but I still had low confidence, and I feel like because I started breaking out when I was young and it's already an awkward phase, you're going through puberty and everything, I just feel like the low self-esteem stuck with me, and it's something that I've always dealt with. I've just always had a low self-esteem, and yeah, so that's one thing that I've really been working on. So, and I went on the birth control pill before I even had a boyfriend. My mom was really against it because she didn't want me to start having sex because I was so young, and but I've always been like a good girl, you know, like I'm responsible. So yeah, I went on the birth control pill, and my skin was good. I mean, even using the creams and on the birth control pill, I never had perfect skin. But I mean, no one has perfect skin all the time, and I guess I didn't really realize that. But yeah, in retrospect, I just always noticed my own flaws, and I never felt like my skin was good enough, even though it was really good. And like, I'm looking right now at myself in the video, and my skin looks awesome, and like I know that in real life I can see a lot of blemishes, and I am wearing a little bit of mineral makeup, which, because I get a lot of hyperpigmentation, so if I ever get a spot after it heals and it's gone, I have like a red mark. So I have a lot of red marks all over my cheeks, so I guess in the daylight I can show in a video, but I mean it's hard to show. I try not to wear makeup. I actually don't wear makeup every single day, but I just like feel better about myself when I wear just like a little bit. And I'll talk more in another video about which makeup I use, which I love. I always come back to the same makeup. I use Physicians Formula. I just love it. It's a drugstore brand. And yeah, I can show you exactly what I use. So basically, story goes, I mean, I always had like ups and downs where I'd have more breakouts and less breakouts, but it was never severe, except when I first started, when I was going through puberty, when I was like 14. And so all through university, my skin was pretty good. 3rd year, I distinctly remember that my skin was the best it's ever been. It was almost flawless. And my roommate at the time, we both suffered with breakouts, and that's something that we would talk about all the time, about products we were using, and that it was so freeing to be able to be open to somebody about this, because it's so embarrassing to talk to people who don't understand. So it was so amazing, and she's one of my best friends, so it's just amazing to have somebody you can talk to about that. And then all of a sudden, when I was living with her, at one point my skin, it was just, I couldn't even believe it. I remember sitting in broad daylight in front of my mirror looking, and I like close up in the mirror, which you're not supposed to do, but I still did, and I literally didn't see any flaws. So that felt amazing. And then so much happened after the summer after third year, between third and fourth year. And I really think that every little thing contributed to the breakout that I had, which was at its worst at the end of 2010, like November, December, and then the beginning of 2011, January, February. It was just horrible, and like, I'm not just saying that, like, I know my skin isn't bad now. I'm not delusional about it, but my skin was really bad. It was severe, and I did take pictures, and I will show pictures. It's still really sensitive for me. I want to share pictures if people are interested, but yeah, I definitely will at some point if people are interested in seeing that. So basically, to make a long story short, that summer Josh and I got engaged, and it was on my 22nd birthday, which, I mean, I come from a big city, like, it's not like I come from a small town, like, it's not normal to get engaged so young, but Josh and I have been together, at that point we'd been together for 4 years, and we knew we were going to get married, so it was just the fact that we were young that, and I guess I can talk about that in its own video as well. So, yeah, we've been engaged for over a year already, and we're traveling now, so we haven't planned a wedding, and we're not in a huge rush. When I get back to Canada, we'll start planning. So obviously, getting engaged was amazing, but at the same time, it's still stressful because so many people have expectations, and there's just pressure everywhere, all around me, from my family, from my friends. I just felt a lot of pressure. And then I went into my final semester of university, and it was so intense. It was the best semester, but it was the most intense ever because we produced a magazine, and that magazine is sold in stores across Canada. It's a huge deal. I was the production editor, and I was just so proud and wanted to work so hard. I dedicated my life to it for months, like 6 months. I just dedicated my life to it. But at the same time, I was just dealing with all these breakouts, and there was so much that I had to deal with the engagement stuff, like involving religion and wedding planning, because I'm agnostic and Josh is an atheist. But we were both raised Jewish, and we were not religious at all, but our families really felt it was really important to have religion involved, and it's really hard to explain how stressful that is, to feel like you're being pulled in 2 different directions, and you don't want to give up your own values, but you don't want to let down your family, who, I love my family so much, and my parents, and they've supported me my whole life, yeah, so, oh my gosh, I have so many topics that I'm bringing up right now. So that caused a ton of stress for me, and yeah, so I just had so much stress going on at that time, and then Josh, who we had a long-distance relationship for 3 years of our 4-year relationship. I was in university, he was working out west, and he was making amazing money. I planned to move out west after graduation, and he could support me until I found my dream job. Everything was planned out, my life was planned out, and then the company Josh was working for went bankrupt, and he had been investing in the company, and he lost all his money. So literally everything changed, and we had no idea what we were gonna do. So it took me a while to realize that I was really under a ton of stress. And in the moment, you don't realize how much you're actually dealing with. So that definitely 100% contributed to my breakout. And oh, I completely forgot to mention that I mentioned this in my other video, that in third year, when my skin was amazing, I was telling you it was the best my skin had ever been, I was also dealing with stomach issues, and I've always dealt with stomach issues in my life, but I now realize it has to do with stress. Everything in my life that I've dealt with, every issue, is connected to stress and is connected to emotions and deep-rooted issues that I haven't dealt with, and it's taken me so long to realize that. So I wanted to deal with these stomach problems, and I didn't realize, oh, I have to deal with emotional issues. No, I thought, oh, it's because of the birth control pill. It must, because I felt a lot of nausea, and I knew when I first went on the pill I had a lot of nausea as a side effect, so I just thought that it was because of that. So I went off the pill in February 2010, and then I went off all my acne medications because I was like, oh, my skin is amazing, like it's the right time. But I just did it stupidly. I didn't wean off any of my medications. It's just like boom, one day I went off everything, and then I started getting really into natural health. So I started experimenting with all these different recipes and concoctions and skincare routines that I found on the internet. Like one day I would do like a yogurt, honey, tea tree oil mask, and then the next day I would try something else, and I'd try like hydrogen peroxide. I mean, I wasn't 100% natural, honestly. At that point, I just wanted to make my skin perfect, so I was doing everything and anything, and I've realized now that experimenting with like a million different products, natural or not, because even natural products can be strong, experimenting with products like that can really, really mess up my skin. Like, it's not the same for everybody, but I have very, very sensitive skin. So it does not react well to being shocked. Some skin reacts well to being shocked, mine does not. So, yeah, my skin just got worse and worse. I went to see a naturopath, and I remember going in there, it was in the summer, because I started to get really into natural health, and like, I thought my skin was horrible, horrible. It was terrible in my eyes. When I looked in the mirror, it was disgusting. And I remember that the woman who I was seeing was like, Marlee, your skin, I'm gonna be honest, it's really not that bad. And I was like, oh, whatever. You're just saying that, you don't understand. But like, looking back, it really wasn't that bad. But like, I just wanted to attack my skin. And she gave me a bunch of options, and she was the type of naturopath who was really, she really believed in combining natural therapies with Western medicine. So she said that she suffered from breakouts as well, and she would use Retin-A micro, and so she told me that I should go get a prescription from my doctor and use Retin-A micro, and she recommended this Clinique toner, and like, she had this natural vitamin C moisturizer, and I started using all those, and I just wanted to like kill everything on my face. So I would slather on the Retin-A micro, and I'd wake up and my face would be burning, and it would be red and raw. I mean, it could have worked. Maybe it would have worked if I had done what she said, which is apply the thinnest possible layer. But no, I just wanted to literally burn off the top layer of my skin and hope that there's a beautiful layer underneath, which really isn't the case. So, yeah, it was really horrible. I was really desperate. I was not thinking clearly. But I mean, to give myself a bit of credit, I had never really experienced that before, especially with natural products, and so I was just like so keen to experiment with anything, and like, if I didn't see results immediately, I just was like, no, let's go on to the next thing, and it just made my skin worse and worse and worse and worse, and then with all the stress I was dealing with, it just like exploded all over my face, and it was like the lowest point of my life. Really, it really was. And so fast forward to today. Well, actually, I'll just go back a couple months. When I left for traveling, I decided, I had realized what I had been doing, and I realized that it was just the worst idea ever, and that I needed to nourish my skin. I needed to work on my emotions, and I needed to love my skin instead of hating it. And that was such a foreign concept to me because I hated it so much. Like, it was external to me, and I was so angry at it. So I had been, and I also realized that obviously I had a lot of emotional issues I had to deal with. So I'd been working on that. And so when I decided I was going traveling, I was still in a bad place. I really wasn't like perfect emotionally at all, but I was doing a lot better, and my skin had been slowly getting a little bit better. And so I decided that traveling would probably be really good for me emotionally, because I would be experiencing everything around me instead of focusing on myself all the time. And also, I realized that I wouldn't have access to all these different products, and that I would just try and keep it really simple. And eventually, while I was traveling, I literally just like threw everything out, and towards the end, I wasn't even washing my face every day, because I had been following the Love Vitamin. I really love her blog and her videos, and she stopped washing her face, and I was so scared. And Josh had always told me that I should just stop using products and see what happens. Like, the worst case scenario is that my skin would break out, but it was already breaking out, so the only place it could really go is up. And so when I stopped using products, I was shocked that I didn't all of a sudden have like severe acne all over my entire face. It actually got better. It was like unbelievable. Really, I was completely shocked. I was the person who spent like an hour in the morning and before bed doing my routine, like my special routine that I thought would make me like look like a monster without. And here I was traveling, like not wearing makeup, not washing my face, nothing. And I mean, obviously my skin wasn't perfect, nowhere near perfect. Like, it took a really long time to get to this point. Hey, so sorry about the change of scenery and hair, clothes, everything. There was a little glitch in the video, so I didn't get to end it. And yeah, so that's where I am now. You can see my skin a lot more clearly now. No makeup on right now. I'm in the sunlight. I'm on my beautiful balcony. It's a gorgeous sunny day. And yeah, I hope that you learned a little bit about me. You have a better idea of what I've been through and where I am now. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. And yeah, I'll be back with my next video. I'll talk about my skincare routine and what I used to use and what I use now. So check out my website, www.sweethealthnut.com. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.